Hey guys, welcome back. In this video, I'll be talking about how physics and collision work in Unreal Engine. We'll learn how to allow objects in the level to move based on individual attributes. Let's get started. Hello and welcome to That Game Coder, where I share with you my tips, tricks and tutorials on how to make a game from scratch. Please subscribe and click the bell icon so you're the first to know when I upload new videos. Have you ever played a realistic video game and thought, how did they make this in real time? If so, then you've experienced physics firsthand. All the realistic games out there like Call of Duty, sports simulations and even Fall Guys have one thing in common: physics-based rendering. The physics engine inside Unreal allows you to simulate realistic physics in your game. This can be used to make objects react realistically to collisions or to create interesting effects like explosions. The dynamic physics subsystem in Unreal Engine is incredibly accurate and reactive, allowing you to easily simulate gravity and collisions. Unreal Engine provides a powerful tool to create nearly any interactive experience you can dream of. It's used by many studios to create blockbuster games. It's important to understand the basics of Unreal Engine physics before you start using it in your game. This video will help you get started with the concepts and terminology that are important to understanding how Unreal Engine physics works. This tutorial is a great resource for people wanting to learn how to add physics to their games. Enough theory. It's time to show you how to use physics in Unreal Engine. In Unreal Engine, the physics system is based on a simple but powerful idea. Everything is a rigid body. This means that when moving an object around the scene, you can specify its mass and velocity. All of these variables are then used by the engine to calculate its trajectory based on the forces acting on it, for example gravity or wind. Let's start by opening the default level map we set up in the previous video. In this map, we have a set of furniture already placed. Now you'll notice that none of this furniture obeys the laws of physics. For example, if we take this chair here and raise it above the ground and then press play, you'll see that the chair does not respond to gravity and just remains in place. The reason for this is that physics can be very expensive for your CPU, and simulating every object would put a lot of stress on your PC. So Unreal Engine disables physics by default and allows you to add it as needed. Let's go ahead and enable this. Make sure that the chair is still selected, and on the right hand side check the details panel. At the top of the details panel is a list of items called components. Use the left mouse button to select the top item. Then below the search bar, you have a list of properties. You will also see a group of tabs that correspond to a different category. You can click on the Physics tab if you're using Unreal Engine 5, or you can type Physics in the search bar. This will show all the properties related to physics. And you will see a property named Simulate Physics. Tick on the property to enable it and press play. You will now see the chair acting as you would expect it. We can also do the same with new objects that we add. Go to the toolbar, go to Shapes, and drag a cube into the viewport. Now let's place the cube above the chair and tick Simulate Physics for this cube. Once we press play, watch how the two objects interact with each other. Now let's take a look at a couple of other properties. If you select the chair again and go back to the details panel under physics, you'll see the gravity property. Try to disable this and press play. You will now notice that the chair acts like a weightless object and floats. The other property we'll take note of is the mass property. If you enable this, you can essentially choose how heavy you want your object to be. This can be useful if you need one particular object to be lighter than another. The physics system is quite powerful and versatile. However, it's important to remember that there are limits on what kind of interactions you can create inside Unreal Engine because they're based on real-world physics principles rather than pure gameplay mechanics, for example, magic or teleportation. That's it for this video. In the next video, we'll talk about how to add functions to objects. Be sure to hit the subscribe button if you enjoy the videos. And after watching this whole series, let me know what other tutorials you would like to see in the comments below.